And here we are, everybody. Thank you. I am Rob Lee, Tarot with an Attitude, and this is my co-host or host, Sherri Divband from Intuitive Wellness. How's everybody doing tonight? Elaine, I think you're already in and raring to go. So, howdy. What's going on?
Hi, everyone. It's good to see everybody again.
Absolutely. I had a nice podcast with Jay today. It was great. Bridget, hey, I see you're on. You're on through Facebook. Awesome.
Oh, yeah, you can see that. See, now I didn't see it before. Okay.
Yeah, the key with Facebook, though, if anybody's listening, if you're going to log in through Facebook, you have to give StreamYard permission to deal with it, you know? So gonna let a few more people pop in here or whatnot, but then we'll get going. Elaine, since you two are Elaine and Bridget, since you two are the first ones in, did you have anything? We were going to start out with talking about everything that kind of went on, and a lot of people feeling a lot of grief and upset, but they're forgetting about what they have in hand. So, yeah. Oh, Bridget switching to YouTube. Okay. There we go.
There you go.
So we'll see what happens there. Got my coffee.
Are you drinking the hemp coffee?
Absolutely. It's the only coffee I drink anymore.
Me too. So, I haven't had Starbucks in 3.5 weeks now. This is like just over 15 years. It hasn't been that long since, every single day I've had that trucker's coffee, and I'm totally fine without it. The hemp coffee is absolutely just the most amazing thing. It's changed my life.
Yeah. Did you go through any like caffeine withdrawal or any of that mess from changing over?
Not at all. And, I thought it was a possibility, because if I, don't have my morning coffee, like if it's delayed or something, I'll get headaches. So it's definitely an issue, but nothing at all, which was really surprising me, because I thought maybe it would, because it's not quite as strong, but it's amazing. Yep. Melody, liquid gold. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you are right. Hey, Melody.
It gives you that like energy boost but what's different about that and coffee though is you are like hyper focused. You know what I'm saying? Like coffee never did that for me. Literally what it would do is it would wake me up, so I felt alive, but I was like not motivated necessarily. Like I'm like, I don't know how to describe it. I'm just like ready to go.
Yeah, it's coffee will perk you up, but it's like being on a not a depressant. What am I trying to? A stimulant, kind of. That's what caffeine is, and things are just. I'm not all that jittery when we talk about being focused. I think people think we're like we're not. It's just nice. And one of the things I found, I take 2 curcumins in the morning, followed by a double dose. Let me get it over here, of my coffee, okay, in my nice mug that my friends have given me. And I do that. Later on, I take either a hit of the oil, and now for my size, I double on some of it, 2 cups of coffee, 2 curcumins, 2 droppers full. But I'm telling you, a lot of those old man creaks and cracks and pops and stuff, I wake up with them within 10 minutes, they're just gone. I'm not, Fiddler on the Roof or dancing naked through the tulips, but I am, I feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. Ditto.
And I think some of what you're talking about is we're not having all that artificial crap come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Christina Lee, how are you? Thank you for joining in. Red Pill. You and I, buddy, we have an appointment we have to keep. Bridget, damn corporate control. Yeah, we could talk about that for hours. So, okay. So here we go. So people are starting to roll in here. Let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So I pulled some cards before, and one of the things I wanted to, I don't think my daughter wants to see me dancing naked at anything, let alone tulips. So anyways, And I asked what we should kind of talk about, what would be a good topic for everybody tonight. And what I got was the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups to me is like, I call it my grief card. Let me get it over here out of this light. There we go. All right. If you notice, the cups are all about emotion. They're about subconscious. They're about the turmoil going on. And the Five of Cups clearly depicts that she's got 2 full glasses, but she's crying over 3 that are broken. And I think the message that we're supposed to be talking about tonight, at least to begin with, and we'll let our viewers and all take it whichever direction they want to take it, though, is don't get so caught up in what you lost to forget what you have.
Yeah.
That's key. And I think it's going to be key as we move forward through all of this, through the Great Awakening, through learning, through channeling, different things. That's going to be key. So let me do this. There we go. There's our,
first question.
First question. Melinda is my daughter's roommate, would like to know if she should quit her main job and pursue therapist full time. I don't do yes or no's. I'm going to let you get started, Sherri, with this one on your insight, and then I'll pull cards on it, and we'll go from there about what she needs to know about doing that. So take her away.
So Melinda, you quit your main job. So I'm definitely not going to say a yes or no with regard to that. But what I would say is right now people are being encouraged to really shift and follow their passion. And a lot of people are having that crossroads in their life, whether they're 50 years old and been doing something for 20, 30 years, or they're going into a career, or perhaps they've been in one for a few years and just not liking it. Perhaps they chose some sort of avenue because of money or title or whatever and then they realized they didn't like it, or they've been doing it for a very long time and they're just not fulfilled as they thought they would be. And so what I'm seeing right now is a lot of people are being guided to really sit and think about what it is that they really truly want to do that will fulfill them, and not worry about money and title and anything like that, and that it will come. And so if Melinda has an opportunity to pursue being a therapist, and it's doable for her, or perhaps she could like shift into it. I think that if that's what brings her passion, I think she should absolutely do it, but in a way that she's able to, so it's not so abrupt, unless you're getting something in the cards that's showing that something will pop up and she could do it much sooner.
What I actually got here, which was, now things are kind of glitching up. Let me stop something here. My ticker started glitching up my camera, so I'll be caught up in a minute with my mouth, folks. And I can hear my wife now. That will never happen. So what we're doing here is I actually got the Page of Swords upright. Okay. Pages to me are about acting like a teenager, having that teenage spunk drive. And Swords is about making logical decisions and communicating. So when I asked, what do you need to know about quitting your job? Sometimes we got to throw caution to the wind like a teenager. Okay. Because the shadow card on this, on the other side of it, was again an upright King of Coins. So this is talking about you have to take control of manifesting what you want to come into your life. So Melinda, what I'm getting here is do it, but just don't quit. Have a plan, make it happen. But if you wait for the universe to open up and this to happen for you, you'll be waiting a long time. Mm-hmm. And what I worry about with people is what I call the hamster wheel. You get on that hamster wheel of a job that's paying the bills and you get scared to jump off.
Yeah.
So start making plans to jump off. If that's what you want, make it happen. You know what the old saying, make it happen, Captain. But that's just you. But you have to do it. You're going to have to take control and know your finances and know where you are to make that choice for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And just one thing, if Melinda, if this is something that you truly believe in your heart that you want to pursue it, I'm a big believer in you making that intention, telling the universe that you're ready, and not that you're leaving it in the hands of the universe, but what you're doing is you're saying, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. I want to move forward. And the universe has a very beautiful way of opening doors in the right timing for you, but sometimes you just have to make the choice and to go forward, and then things will happen accordingly. So first step is saying, I'm ready to move forward with this, and then everything else will kind of fall in line.
Yeah, I agree. Jay and I were having that very conversation today. Sometimes being afraid to spend money because you're afraid you're going to lose it is that negative energy. It's that lower vibration energy, so it won't come to you. Sometimes, like, you got to go, it's coming. I'm going to make this work. I know my worth. I know what's happening. So, yeah, sometimes we can be too careful and pass things up. Red Pill MC, he posted this right before you even posted your question. If I saw it right. But there's the answer. You got to be creative. Find your true purpose. When you find your true purpose, your happiness will come out. And when you're happy, your wants and needs change. So that's where I go with that. Next one, Bridget. Regarding grief, do you think we are all suffering from PTSD of sorts? Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't know whether to go right or go left or to focus our opinion because somebody's going to jump down our throats. We don't know who people are with. That's coming straight from my heart, straight from my gut. PTSD is not solely caused by a traumatic incident. I have seen people with PTSD from watching too much news because they're starting to live it. They're making it real. It happened to me once right after the Las Vegas shooting, and my wife will tell you, man, all of a sudden, all I could hear were those gunshots. Was I there? No, but the news played them over and over and over. And I'm sitting up on the second story of IKEA, now feeling like a fish in a barrel. I've never felt that way in my life. And it was a PTSD moment because I heard the gunshots in my head. People were starting to look around, and I had to find the exit. Now, once I got a breath of fresh air, I was able to go back in and buy a bunch of IKEA stuff. So, but yes, PTSD comes in all shapes and forms, and more people are suffering from it, especially over all this other stuff that's going on, than what they realize.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think you just nailed it, Rob.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Not many women in my life say that, so thank you.
I think people overthink the PTSD. They think they have to be a veteran and come back from a war, or it has to be this very traumatic event. And really, it could just be a period in your life that you just finished, and it could be days, it could be a week, it could be a very short period of time. But who are we to dictate timing as trauma? Because it's all energy at the end of the day. So if your vibration was decreased enough to affect your frequency, it's traumatic in and of itself, and everybody's body processes these things differently. So two people can have the same experience, and one perseveres through it because they're able to bounce back much easier. Others get trapped in that lower vibration, and it can be very traumatic for them, and they can have a really hard time and struggle with it. So we're all in the same boat, man.
Yeah, and Bridget, you're right. Melody, I'll come back to you, but it's been rough for everyone from different angles, from different things. Not all of it was COVID. So, there was a whole bunch of stuff. And what really amazes me is that people ended friendships over things that happened. And I think Bridget saw some of that happening in her own personal life. And the fact that you and I can't agree to disagree, you're going to disown me as a friend? I got news for you. You weren't that good of a friend to begin with. So, but that's what's going on around the world. So, families being torn apart and everything by all this crap, whether it be COVID or the election or whatever, 5D versus 3D, people are losing people over it, and that's sad. So, yes, maybe, Sherri, maybe you and I ought to do a whole series one time or a show on just PTSD.
Yeah, we could talk about it for hours.
Yeah. So, Melody, I've had a lot of loss and changes in my home life. What is next?
Hi, Melody.
Sherri, if you want to tune in, I'm going to draw some cards on this one. Melody Love. What do you need to know about what's coming?
Sorry, my daughter's here with us tonight. She's taking my attention away. You want to say hi to everybody real quick while Rob is doing his pulling cards? My daughter wants to say hi to the audience tonight.
We'll go right ahead and say hello. Whoop! Now we got the basket shoes on.
Say hi. That's Aramis. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Aramis. Okay.
All right.
Melody Love. Here we go. All right. So here's what I'm getting, what you need to know about what's coming next. Queen of Swords, upright. Communication is going to play a key role. Keeping your logical mind, keeping everything straight in order, and you being the queen of your domain. You have to take charge. You are going to have to really be that queen. Like, picture a queen either from fiction or history, someone that you is like, that's a woman for me. That's who represents a queen. She's queen of the home, queen of the castle. She makes everybody, right. She knows how to communicate, but she knows when to let emotions take a backseat to what's logically correct. This is what I see for you. This is a very positive card for me that you're fixing to learn, if not already get more in control of your own thoughts and communication and your logic and your decision making. Sherri?
Yeah, and I was actually feeling very positive about it as well, Rob. I think, oftentimes, and it's not in the timing or in the way that we would desire, but sometimes when we have a lot of loss and changes all at one time, although it's quite traumatic in the moment, in hindsight, you look back and it's usually like a crossroads or a opportunity for somebody to move forward in a different direction. And all of that grief and frustration and all of those emotions can be quite healing. And then you release it, and then you're able to kind of clear the slate and then move forward into something really beautiful. So I always look at things like, okay, well, when those things happen, I'm always like, well, what's next for you? Because usually it's something big. What do you have in your hand?
Oh, that's one of my amethysts. Let me get over. Yeah, that's a huge amethyst.
Oh, I love amethyst. It's my favorite.
Yeah, and it's pointing to a wand, so sometimes I'll just hold it and point it at myself. And
I don't have crystals.
Yeah, so
Melody,
I can't go too far without them. I got them all over my neck and everything. So okay, cool.
Yeah, Melody, some good things are coming for you. So just wait and thank the universe for the lessons you've learned. And say, I'm ready for what's next. Hi, Akai.
And what I'm seeing here, Red Pill, I think Red Pill's got the right idea. Service to others. Yeah. We have to remember to be nice, even when people don't agree with us. You don't win friends or win battles all the time by having the biggest cannons. Sometimes they can be won without firing a shot, with a little diplomacy, getting along, things like that. I was telling Jay and I were talking today, and I was reminding people, you should be listening to understand, not listening to respond. Mm. If you're listening to respond just to jump on something they said, you're not listening.
That's hard for people to do, though. What you're saying is so simple, but it's very difficult for a lot of people to do. Rob, they're not listening when you're talking. What they're doing is thinking about the next thing they're going to say. And they don't process or even take in what you said because they're like rapid fire. They're ready to say the next thing, and you have to stop them and say, just wait a second, right?
Yeah, they do a lot of times, and you can see this, and I've done this with other people. You can see their wheels spinning, and they're not listening to a damn thing you've got to say. They heard that first comment come out of your mouth, and now they're ready to hand you your ass on a platter. Well, wait a minute. Did you hear my understanding of you in that? No, people don't. So that service to others and being nice. I issued a challenge to one of my groups one time about do something nice for somebody you don't even know. Doesn't have to be great. Mm-hmm. But when have you ever done something nice? We helped the old lady get the thing off the shelf. We helped the old man get his groceries to the car. We just help somebody, and it's out of kindness. It's out of an immediate seeing a need, and you handle it. I challenge people to do this. Walk up to somebody in a restaurant that you don't know and give them a compliment. And most people are afraid, like, oh, hell, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look like an idiot. But let me tell you something. You don't know when that one compliment could change somebody's actual day or life. You don't know what people are thinking. And for somebody to walk up to you and say, Sherri, I just want to let you know, your eyes are beautiful. No offense. I will do it right there with their husband. Hey, I want to let you know, there's no offense. It's my wife sitting right over there. And she's over there going, oh, shit, here he goes again. But it's one of those things that, you know what? You make people laugh.
Yeah.
You feel good. They feel good. What's the harm? You know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's a shame too, because a lot of people walk around with this defensive shield, and like people's first reaction when you just like say, excuse me, sir, excuse me, ma'am. Have you ever noticed that a majority of people will turn around like ready to defend themselves as if you are going to attack them, or as if you're trying to sell them something or waste their time? And then you say something nice. You could see their brain processing it for a second, and then the shield just drops and they're like, oh, like it's unexpected. That happens to me all the time. I don't know if anybody else in this that's watching this experiences that, but I feel like in my reality, I feel that all the time. It's like they're ready to be on the defense, and then when they finally see that you have something nice to say or kind, the shield drops, and they're like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of them don't even know how to act. Once it even triggers you're being nice or being kind, they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
They really don't even know what to do with it. So, I mean, it's sad, but that's what's going on in everybody's life. So I hit the wrong button. Let me get back over here. Where was I at? Honeysuckle Smith. Good evening. I feel like I'm ascending, but my husband isn't. What or how can I deal with the subtle differences it is causing in our communication? Be patient. That's going to be the first thing. It's kind of like what we were just talking about. Honeysuckle, one of the things you've got to realize, he's got a lot coming at him from all directions to keep him from seeing. Logic will not dictate waking up. It doesn't. So one of the things, Sherri, if you want to comment on that, I'm going to pull a card about what she can do to help with the communication, because it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah, I mean, so this is like the most common question I'm getting right now. Like, I mean, by the day, constantly, that a sibling or a spouse or, their family members are asleep, and they're feeling like in the state, they're feeling the same way. This is what I always recommend to people. You can't wake them up. Don't even try. What I always say is hold the space. I have this quote that I always say, hold the space for them. What that means is continue with your ascension. Try to keep yourself balanced. Try to send, love and encouragement their way, but don't try to wake them up. Just allow them to ascend in their own space, in their own time, because it's their journey. Just because you're tied to them doesn't necessarily mean that you're on the same time frame. And hold the space, meaning just hold that vibration for them. Just wait and hold it for them, so that by the time they come up, you'll be ready. Does that make sense? So you're just holding that space for them and waiting for them to be ready.
That makes perfect sense. I couldn't have said it better myself. The card I pulled, Honeysuckle, is the 7 of Coins reverse, which is all about reassessment from your standpoint. You have to learn to be patient, to step back. All you can do is plant the seed. It's going to be up to him whether he accepts it or not, and you have to watch it grow. If it grows, great. If it doesn't, try planting the seed in another way. So that's exactly what I'm seeing here is you be patient. If you can have civil conversation over certain things, have it, but agree to disagree.
Exactly.
And just let him walk away and think about it. Don't try to we get passionate because we believe it. And they're like, I'm going to make you believe it. And then guess what? Kind of gets back to that telling somebody to calm down. And there was an old saying, or somebody gave me one time, it said, when in the history of calming down has anyone ever calmed down by being told to calm down?
No.
It doesn't happen. Okay. So especially when the awakening and things can seem very left. I call it the straights. We're scaring the straights, kind of like in Ghostbusters. You know, what we're saying is not logical to a lot of them. And beating logic with the spirit of understanding, that's a tough battle. So that's my advice. Plant the seed, wait. When you see another opportunity, plant another seed.
And just create boundaries, you know, because I have a lot of people in really difficult situations and they feel like they're suffocating because they can't say what they want to say. They can't act the way they want to act. They kind of have to keep it to themselves. And I always tell people, just create boundaries so that you invite conversations that are where you're on the same resonance, because then a conversation is actually a good conversation, a good experience. But when you're trying to argue about something in a different vibration, then there's blockages that occur. So just create boundaries, and where you just agree, like you said, agree to disagree. Just don't talk about those things until you're both on the same page. Otherwise, it's just draining and exhausting for both sides.
And one of the things I was just given, it just came to me, and I actually felt it in the back of my head. Remember to take time. Your guides are there. Remember, we call them guides, to show you things. Mm-hmm. We have to take time to listen to them. And a lot of times they'll direct you on how to plant the seed you want to plant. Trust them. Okay. But still your mind, do some meditation and listen and put that out there and see what has to be said. So Stacy Mask. And then we had Southern Girl here real quick. Honeysuckle in the same boat. I love him through it, and I feel he's coming along. He just doesn't know it. That's the way to go. Make it work. Manifest it into happening. So we have Stacy Mask, the Lila of life. All right. PTSD comes in all shapes and sizes. Yes, it does, sir. Blessings, Maya. Great. Christina Lee. I don't know who she is, but MFer, she's good. Melinda. Okay.
That's funny.
There you go. There you go. So you're being third party validated. Okay. I love
it. Thank you.
So, okay. Cheryl Carlson. Let's see what we've got here. I'm ascending and can see the corruption in this country. My fiance is asleep and believes everything he hears on MSM. I am wondering where this relationship is going. All right. If y'all's relationship, and I'm not going to draw cards, and please take what you want, leave what you don't. If you are balancing a relationship on political beliefs, it's time to move on. That's from me clinically. That's from me spiritually. That's from your relationship should be balanced in how much you love him for who he is. So you're expecting a change or you're going to move. You're also manifesting that to happen by putting this stuff out there. So you are ascending. There is corruption. It's all around us. I was a cop for 15 years, and I don't trust it when a blue light goes on behind my car unless I know the guy sitting behind the seat. Okay? I don't trust them. They will make a case at the drop of a hat. I don't trust DCF. I don't trust them because them is the government. Okay. I want them to succeed though. And you're like, Rob, that makes no sense. If they fail, we all fail. But I want to be awake and be aware. Okay. So we have to understand, there is corruption. And a lot of times people don't want to see it because then that makes them feel like they have to do something.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just take a second, Cheryl, and I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I want you to reread the question that you asked because it's coming from a place of frustration. So you can pretty much answer your own question by the way you framed it. So I would encourage you to just take a step back and reevaluate. And if you love this person, then that's all that matters, and the rest will work itself out. Like Rob's saying, politics shouldn't be the foundation of your relationship. If the foundation is not solid enough that the politics can break it down, then you probably shouldn't be together. So I would rephrase the question to yourself and say, do I love this person enough that I can be patient with him through this divide and then see where it goes. So that's my 2 cents.
Yep, I agree. If you can't work it out through this, man, there are going to be a lot bigger things to come at you in life than spotting corruption somewhere. You know, it just is. And that kind of gets back to that patience of, you know, how do I lead somebody through it? Kind of been what we've already been talking about. You got to be still, you got to get in connection, and your guides will tell you how to get your point across. You have to be the queen. Here we go. Another queen taking charge. This is the Queen of Wands. Your passions, your desires, your dreams. If that is your desire and that is your dream, that you are not to be with somebody that doesn't agree with you politically, spiritually, that's okay. That's your decision. And you know what? I support you in making it. But realize you need to take ownership of that. And if it means ending something, you have to end it. Okay? So you could be the queen of this own destiny. You could make this the way you want it to be. That's up to you. Okay? So that's what I got there. So all right, let's keep going. I'm getting behind. I'm scrolling like a fiend here. Aunt Stacy, Red Pill loves you. And Maya James has been talking about gunshots or a trigger, things like that from his past, different things. Melinda says tarot and therapy are a good combo for you, Dad. You think? I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Red Pill. Oh, Sherri, this one's for you, man. Boom. Cupid shot that arrow. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Okay. Oh, hit home. Eek. Oh my God. What did I walk into? We are just hitting everything. All right. Yeah, Red Pill, when we have a PTSD chat, you most surely, anybody will be available. And what we might can do is if it's something near and dear to your heart, let's me and you talk about it. Maybe we'll get you on the show with us, and the three of us can talk about it. All right. So, there you go. I couldn't let that fly. All right. Got to talk about it.
I think that was for my daughter.
Absolutely. All right. And there is for Aramis. All right. A lot of people. Stacy, hello, beautiful girl. They all love your daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So Maya James, own our space and energy. That is it. So I'm going to look for some questions here. Yeah, now this is true. I'm going to click here. Loving unconditionally is what I've had to do because my team wants to know nothing. That's all you can do. That's you're learning, you're connected. And you know what? All it is our responsibility to show, not drag them down the path. Okay? Then we become the old Catholics in the conversion days, and we're hanging witches from the trees and everything else. You got to believe what I believe, the Crusades. No, that's not what we're supposed to do. You ask, I'll tell you what I believe. Take what you want, leave what you don't, but I love you anyways. You know, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to let that taint the way I feel. Feels like they need to see it on TV in order for them to believe it. Yeah, don't get me started about seeing it on TV, because our news is showing us what they want us to hear and what you want to hear. And you're like, well, no, I want to hear the truth. No. The news, folks, watch The Social Dilemma. Every news you get fed on Facebook and everything else is done by an algorithm of your searches. And watch the movie. Netflix, Social Dilemma, you got to check it out. Okay. Yeah. This is getting to the root of the issue with me, is the press and how much they can actually affect everything around us. So what do we got here? New another queen. Oh yeah, there we go. All right. Red Pill, I don't have a pen with me. I'm going to give you mine. Tarot with an attitude at gmail.com. Okay.
Red Pill, I'll reach out. We'll connect. Don't worry.
Good deal. Yeah, we'll make this happen. Red Pill and I have been talking about this, and it's like we keep passing. Everything's been crazy. I hadn't even been posting on my Luminous Playground channel, and it's just I have been so crazy.
The thing about Rob, to go back to the television, it goes back to having patience for others, because this programming that we are saturated in from the moment we're born, that is perpetuated every single day of our life through different avenues, can affect some people a lot more than others. So those husbands that were in the chat, or your friends, or people in your life that you're very frustrated with because you're like, why don't you wake up? Just recognize that sometimes those people are just heavily hypnotized. And instead of judging them, just have compassion for them, because feel for them, because they had some pretty productive programming, and they're under hypnosis, essentially. I mean, I'm a master hypnotherapist, and the theta brainwaves that the beta and theta brainwaves that are that relaxed state that we're in when we're watching television, and that repetition of this newscasters saying the same thing over and over again, and us watching the movies with the types of the themes that they want us to be engulfed in, whether it's fear or adrenaline based type of shows. Some people have a hard time getting out of that. So imagine being in that beta or alpha or theta, depending on how deep you go, waves all the time, and they're hypnotized even when they're not watching TV, where others are able to break out of it. So just think about it that way, where some people are just heavily hypnotized, and you try not to judge them for it, because the programming worked really well on them, and we just have to let them wake up.
It's brainwash, pure and simple. And and when we say brainwash, we're picturing, terrorist actions and things like that. No, brainwash is just hearing something over and over and over and over again. I will give you a prime example. You don't eat fish on Friday was the old Catholic thing. Or you have to eat fish on Friday, no meat on Friday. Well, when the Pope changed that, my best friend's mother, who was actually a partner of mine on police work, actually threw a fit when he had a ham sandwich with me at dinner one night, and it was a Friday. And I'm like, Miss Dorset, the Pope said it's okay. He changed it. Well, he doesn't have that right. And I'm like, he's the vicar of Christ, for crying out loud, So, and my roommate's like, oh, stop it. Just let her be. Let her be. Okay. All right. Sorry. I'll shut up. But, she had heard from a young age, and most people didn't even understand why you were supposed to eat meat on Friday or fish on Friday. And it was the Pope helping out the different things with the fish markets and things like that, fish sales. So this went into effect. Everybody believed it had not one religious thing to do with it.
Yeah.
But and then when a new Pope came in and said, no, we don't have to do that anymore. Everything's fixed. She was like, no. So remember, people that are conservative, a lot of times we have to be careful, because I see a lot of my fellow Christians equating Christianity and patriotism, and they're literally two different things. And I know right now some people are going, no, they aren't, and I'll be glad to explain it sometime. Both are honorable, both are okay, neither one is wrong, but it's not the same thing, and you have to be able to separate the two. So some of that's what's going on all around the world, though.
Yeah.
So, Bender, I do not have this deck, the Elda deck, Dodoria. But now you're going to have me look it up and find out what's going on. You ever heard of this deck?
No, I haven't.
Okay. All right. Yeah, me either. Will I heal this bone cancer in this lifetime? Okay. I guess one of these days I'm going to have to pull the pendulum out, and we're going to have to do some yes or no's. Okay. Let me pull some cards here real quick, Maya, about what you need to know about your bone cancer in this lifetime. What does Maya need to know about this? And again, these are very short pulls. I'd love to do a longer pull with you on this, a longer read, so we could go into more detail. So here's what I got. It's ironically the card we started out with for tonight, the 5 of Cups that I called the grief card. That's grief is my word. Live your life now. This is not saying yes or no, but this is a reminder. Don't get lost in the cancer to forget to live your life with the strength and vitality of everything you've got right now. Maya, you have a lot to give. You have a lot going on, okay? This thing in your life sucks, but don't let it be the picture of your life. Live your life and live what you are given. Be careful. Easier said when you're on this side of the C word than you are when you're on your side of the C word, okay? So all we can do is lift you up in support. If you don't mind, I'll send you I'll do some Reiki healing on you periodically this week, and we'll see where that goes. But I need your permission first to just type in yes or whatnot, and I'll be glad to reach out to you that way. But make sure you keep your energies up. That's what's going to help heal you by bringing those vibes down. Sometimes we become our own self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. Skylar, I have another kid saying hi.
Hi, Skylar.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Okay. You know, you're talking to about 200 people right now. Oh, I figured that would do it. Okay. That's funny. All right.
So sorry, I didn't mean to make light of the question, Maya. So I just want to just reiterate the fact that everything ties back to energy. It always starts energetically first, and then it manifests physically within the body, and generally in the form of cancer, it being one of the most severe. So I absolutely believe you have the ability to overcome it in this life. Absolutely. And I think it has a lot to do with your intention, and has a lot to do with your choices, and it has a lot to do with your mindset moving forward. I have some tips for you that I'd be happy to share if you, I don't know, Rob, if you have my email in the description, but
no, I don't. So I need to do that. And if you want to pop yours up, if you've got it on your,
I guess I could put it myself in the comments.
Yeah, you should be able to. Let me take this down right now, but I want to come back to that one. And let me get that out of the way. All right. See if you can post your.
I don't know. It's not letting me.
Okay. Well, what is it?
It's just go to intuitivewellnesscenter.com. That's the easiest, and you can email me through there. But I have some suggestions, things that you could do, some breathing exercises, and some things like that could help you. Just sometimes it's just about shifting your mindset, and it can change a lot. And so reach out to me.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
All right. How do I help my 17-year-old daughter see she is beautiful and the transgender thing is a lie? I need help. Well, first off, I need you. This is a subject that's near and dear to my heart, so I want to make sure I'm interpreting the question right. What do you mean by the transgender thing is a lie? If she's transgender and she feels that way, what I'm going to tell you to do, this comes to being open, what we talked about earlier, being willing to listen to hear, and understand. One of the things Jay and I are starting is a new show called Wake the Fuck Up. And some of this is talking about we have to be open to new ideas and new things. So, Donna, I don't exactly know if you want to rephrase it, and if we can get to it before the end of the show, I'll be glad to. I want to make sure what you mean by it. But what I'm getting intuitively right now is you need to stop convincing your daughter and maybe listening. I don't know if I'm wrong on this. Again, I haven't let you clarify. Listen to her. This is a real thing. And especially she's hearing it from all over now. So you're going to have to listen to her and have a talk. So Sherri, anything on that? Did I go off base there?
No, I read the question like 3 times before you posted it, and I didn't understand what she was saying either. And the only thing I can think of, because I have 2 young ones, but I have a 16-year-old, and right now it's there's a lot of confusion amongst the teens, because it's almost like a couple of them were saying it's cool right now to be like, they're almost like, oh gosh, I wish I was bi, or I wish I was, because it's like a fad, and so they're trying to place them in a box that they're not necessarily in. So I don't know if that's what she meant, where maybe her daughter's considering something because she feels pressured, or I'm not sure, but I know that that's happening right now a lot, and a lot of teens and young adults are really confused about their sexuality and where they are based on all of the propaganda. Like, it's almost like it's being sold or celebrated as something really cool, and it shouldn't be, because it should be it should be accepted, but it should be a very personal journey, and not something that's broadcasted so much, because it is confusing a lot of those that are not, if that makes sense. And I was just wondering if that's what she was going with that.
Yeah. So we'll see in the comments down here. She wants to clarify a little bit. My wife said people, they don't see the ships on the horizon because they don't know how to process something they've never seen. And, there's a lot of truth in that, because if you don't know what you're looking at, it takes you a while to figure it out, And in part of my psychology session of the clinical part, they talked about the cave with the guys. You're born, you're never allowed to see anything behind you. You're strapped, you're fed, all your needs are met, but all you have is a fire behind you in a cave. And the only thing you ever see are shadows of everything that's going on behind you. Years later, you're 30-something years old, and we cut the ropes and turn you around. Nothing in your mind is as you have had it pictured or what you believe. So you might even see you're seeing hallucinations or things like that, because it's not what you're used to hearing. You've been brainwashed. You have convinced yourself of what the truth is. And a lot of times the truth is the farthest thing from what we believe it to be. So that's Gillian. Thank you very much. That's my lovely wife helping me out there.
Oh yeah, thanks you for putting up the emails. That was very helpful.
Oh, did she do that? I'm not even looking anywhere else. So yes, yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so exactly, like a spell that needs to be broken. Jerry, absolutely. It's one of those things. So, we got to go through it. I'm going to kind of speed through some of this here. Yes, I was raised in a Southern Baptist church, told not to believe in tarot, psychics, etc., because the Bible says so. But I feel drawn to it because I deja vu and very vivid dreams since a child. Yeah, they're blocking things out. There are certain scriptures of the Bible that do say don't do this. They're Old Testament, okay? And in the Old Testament, they talked about divination and stuff really working. So that you got to remember. Here, some of my Christian friends here. Bye. Let me just say bye now, okay? The Bible is a great book. It's a holy book. There's a lot of wisdom and knowledge in there. But it was written by men. Everybody's like, oh, it's the inspired word of God. These men knew exactly what they were putting down. Well, how about the translators? Then how come the Christian Bible or the King James Version of the Bible has 2 missing chapters that the Catholic Bible has? There's just so much here. It's like read everything, look at it, and remember, some people are trying to propose and keep forward a steady stream of thought and thought control. So that's where I'm at with that. So Julie Putnam, the cancer is not you. Isn't that the truth? My son's best friend is gender confused, in and out of the hospitals, trying to harm himself. And we are her only safe, loving space. Yet her mom doesn't understand that it's so bad. Acceptance at the teenage level is massive. Yeah. That's their biggest thing, is about being accepted. One of the biggest drivers, you can look at this clinically, you can look at it as an old parent, you can look at it however you want to, but Sherri's going to back me up. One of the things when we look at our developmental stages in teenagers is belonging, finding who they are. So Maya, that's a great question. So, or a great statement.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yep. So let me get over here. Oh, I think I'm about caught up here. So did I miss some questions? Oh, let's go here, Julie. Maybe sometimes it's genuine, but media is trying to confuse teens.
Absolutely. That's the problem, I think. I think some people are genuinely having those confusion, that confusion, and really truly are feeling like they're not comfortable in their gender. The problem is that the media is just taking that and running with it, and it's becoming a fad. And that is the part that is confusing those that are not confused, and implanting suggestions that are not there. And that's the thing that a lot of parents are having a problem with, because then their teens are having conversations with their other teens, and these are real quotes where they're saying, man, I wish I was bi, or I wish I liked girls. It's so cool. But I don't, or things like that. And that's a shame, because it should never be about that.
Yeah, and I agree. I'm all for, I think this is a real thing. I do think we've got to remember sometimes it's a sign that our children don't have anybody to talk to other than head down, buried in the media. And we're allowing the media to spoon feed all this stuff to our children rather than us being active parents and talking to them and listening to them. There are some gender confused people out there. There really are, but not as many. And I worked with a lady on the FBI, an agent that was openly gay. And we had this very conversation back in the 80s. That a lot of kids are declaring themselves gay when they don't really even truly know who they are yet. They either experimented or something or whatnot. Folks, that's what we're here to do, is help them develop. Don't try to change them and they're not your little Barbie doll. Help them develop to be that happy human being you want them to be, whether it goes with what you think or not. Be proud that you raised a child that can free think. Be glad that you're a parent that they can come to. Look at all of the positives in that and the gratitude. This is one of those things where you have the opportunity of a lifetime to communicate. But again, nobody won an election this year by screaming how wrong the other side was. Okay? It didn't. The media did a lot of it. And what they did was they fed people what they wanted to hear. We need to listen. Remember, this is all coming back around to the beginning. Listen to them to understand them. And most of us, all we want is for our child's happiness, we think. But a lot of times when we come down to it, we want to be able to be happy by saying, that's my child. And that's not what they're here for. Sherri?
No, I agree 100%.
So, okay. So absolutely, hence my son has never gone to a school or a doctor. Okay, those are personal choices. No TV, no social media, but mine. So go ahead.
Sorry. Well, I just want to make sure because Jacqueline, apparently we skipped her and she reposted, and I don't want to skip her again. There you go.
Okay, there we go. Okay, yes, I had a question. I can retype it if needed, but about a career path. Fight for my license because I've changed or go to a different career path. Sherri, what are you picking up on that one?
Sorry, she has another one. I'm just reading it. So,
okay.
Vaccines and prenatal environment meds, any intake really actually cause a lot of... Oh, that's the subject topic. Okay. I thought that was an additional part of her question. So her question is about a career path. Should she fight for license because I've changed, or go a different career path? I don't know if I have enough information to go on it. Sorry.
All right. I'm going to pull a card. Let's just see what we got with that, because it's a little confusing for me too. So I'm asking, what do you need to know about fighting for your license or your career path? Let's just stay simple. What does Jacqueline, Heavenly Father, Mother, Spirit, guides, please, on my shoulder? I need you for this one. Make the visions come through for Jacqueline, not of me. And so mote it be. All right. So I'm going to look at this for a second. All right. So you can see, Sherri, I got the Ten of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ten of Swords is again about a mental. You notice this guy, he ain't having fun. Things are about to change though. Swords are about communication, logic. This is all about mental. And this is mental anguish. You're carrying a burden, but it's about to change. So what I'm seeing is, and here would be, it's time to let whatever career path you have now go.
Yep.
And pursue into a different career path. This is the time.
Yeah, I mean, I interpret that exactly the same way, even though the question was vague and I don't know the details, but the card is very clear. So hopefully that's helpful.
Yep. Well, what's in the coffee show up on a drug test? You know, on the coffee, I'm not sure. It might. The curcumin I take and other of the gummy pills and different things with that have turmeric in them and different, they will not. They are broad spectrum. They have no THC in them at all. What I know has THC in it is the drops that I use. But the gummies, I'm hearing a lot of people are on the gummies because they're dealing with that. Just takes a little bit longer to get into your system to really go. But I'm going to pop the site back up again because, again, I'm just going to keep it. I thought I made that ticker go away. That's not even the right site. Let's go here. There we go. Go to the site, read it, because there are so many products available that are broad spectrum. That means there's no THC. So the coffee, I know it's got cannabinoids in it, but I'm not sure if it's going to show up THC positive or not. The site will tell you, and I will look and I will have that answer. What do you know, Sherri?
I just remember we had a question a while back, and I think the answer they got is that it can show trace amounts. It just depends on the drug test that's being taken or whatever the one you're doing, how specific it is. So, but if you go to the website, they have an amazing customer service. They'll talk to you for as long as you want and answer any of your questions. So I would call them. But I remember that question, and the answer was it could, but it's such a trace amount that it's likely not to cause a positive result. So that's what I know.
Okay. All right. Donna came back with this when she was young. She was all girl. There was a lot of confusion. Yes, like a fad. We have had a lot of stress due to a bad divorce. I have had to be so strong and keep going when we were nearly, and then it got lost in there. But we get the gist of what you're talking about, Donna. So, but she's drop dead gorgeous. You know what? She's probably drop dead gorgeous on the inside, no matter what her outside looks like. Make sure you're not doing a little mother envy, trying to relive through there. I'm telling you, I've seen a couple of these things, and we've talked about brainwashing and things like that. And you're only going to hear what I hear. You're only going to hear what I hear. Folks, I will tell you this as a coach, therapist, counselor, tarot reader, master's level, when you only allow people to see one thing, it's just like we talked about with the people in the cave. They're not going to be under your roof forever. And they find the different world, a different vision. You can be creating a huge problem for yourself and that child, and a big problem between the two of you later. Don't be afraid to show your child what the world is, because they're going out in it, whether you want them to or not. And if you don't think they are, there might be some other issues we need to discuss. So, so here we go. Dr. Ace Harden. Yes, facts. We need to be, it's 9:00. So we got to end it here. Yes, we need to be active as parents, and telling our kids the truth is the first thing to their development. That's it. be open, be honest, be truthful. I'm looking to see if lessons came in tonight because I had done a reading for her. I've got to put it in an email, but I was ready to answer a question and she's not here tonight. So there we go. So with that being said, I hope we got to as much as we could. Remember, it's only an hour.
Yes.
Yeah, remember when the link comes on, you can log in and post your questions early. You can email them to Sherri and myself, and we will go from there. Julie Putnam just got tarot cards. What is the best way to learn how to read them? I'm writing a PDF book, and I'll make sure you hit Tarot with an Attitude. Message me with your email address. I will send you a copy. I need somebody to proof it. It hasn't been illustrated yet, but this will be the good way to see how effective this is to start right out of the gate. So that's what we're doing. So tonight, folks, I don't know if somebody came in at 10 o'clock or not, so I don't want to keep them. Sherri, are we going to do this 8 o'clock next Sunday, or are we doing it Saturday? What do you want to do?
Either day is fine. So tune in for either Saturday or Sunday. I think Sunday's fine. We'll just keep it consistent.
I would like to keep it Sunday so everybody knows when they can tune in. So that's it.
Think about your questions throughout the week and then just have them ready, and we'll try to get through as many as we can.
Right. Somebody said they need a session. You can reach me. You reach Sherri. And Sherri, what's your email?
Sherri at intuitivewellnesscenter.com.
There we go. And there's me. Let me see. Where are we at? Tarot with an Attitude. Why is there? Oh, I'm clicking all the wrong buttons here. So www.tarotwithanattitude. You can ask me questions. You could book sessions. I had somebody book a mindfulness session today. It's an hour. But check it out there. It can all be done right through tarotwithanattitude.com. So with that being said, everybody from Tarot with an Attitude, Luminous Playground, Intuitive Wellness, one of the things I like to tell everybody. Sherri, you got anything you want to close with real quick?
No, just thanking everybody for joining us. I really enjoyed interacting with all of you. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely love it. So with that being said, take what you want, leave what you don't. But all Sherri and I both want you to do is leave with a little peace, love, and light. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Bye.